I called a Dunkin' Donuts in New York State once, and I said that I lost a watch in the bathroom and I needed somebody to go look for it. I just kept talking, and finally I told him that it had fallen out of my ass.
Navigating through the chaos of these modern days. Lost in the radio.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Radio Labyrinth.
I want to start with the song. May I?
Please.
Will you indulge me?
Get us a copyright strike right off the top.
No, there will be no copyright strike. Who am I? Can I really hide the brand I've built? The golden hair, no trace of guilt. They know my voice, my style, my spark lights up the rallies in the dark. Who am I? I'm 45 and 47 too. I've done a lot, but there's more to do. I've got Elon and Doge for cuts. No other leader had the guts. Who am I? Who am I? I'm Trump, Val Trump. And then, so Javert, you see it's true. This man holds no more guilt than you. The first musical to take place at the Kennedy Center, which is now the Trump Center, I guess, since he's the whatever. The leader of it is going to be Les Misérables. And
Get all those Miserables sent to El Salvador as soon as possible.
look, the problem that Javert had is, you know what he could have done? He could have easily taken, Javert could have taken Jean Valjean and they could have sent them to Libya. They could have sent him to Libya or El Salvador, like Jeff said. And then you don't have the problem. Nobody's looking down. There's lots of jobs for French people to, you know, look in the muck and have sex and, you know, send their kids off to, you know, creeps. Les Mis, if nobody knows, is my favorite musical of all time.
I have seen Les Mis over a dozen times.
All right, guy.
Just every day, there's just story. Trump is all Trump. And granted, he brings it on himself quite a bit. But his Kennedy Center debut has already got, I think, 12 members of the cast, like main cast members, and then some of the support cast saying, we're not going to do it. You're not doing it for Trump. You're doing it for the audience. Do it for the audience. Ignore the fact that you're not going to change anything. Vote in the next election or in any election. But what are you doing? They'll just find understudies who are like, all right, I'll do it because I might get a job. So that's my point. Just do the musical. You know, just do it. It could have been Cats. I don't like Cats.
Just do it. Do it for the people.
Just do it for the people. Do you hear the people singing the song of Angry Men? Well, it's because they're pissed that you're not going to be there and they already bought tickets for it. I get it. You don't like him. A lot of people don't like him. You know, there's lots to not like, but just do the damn musical. Okay, it's great, you know. Jeepers, you know, Javert, I see a lot of myself in Javert. I really do. I don't give up. I'm not going to jump off of a bridge into the river and die, though, like, spoiler alert, Javert. We've all seen the movie, right? The movie was good, I thought.
Yeah, I love seeing Russell Crowe sing.
Follow to the letter your itinerary. This badge of shame will show it till you die.
He was terrible. He was awful. But the overall movie was great. When I walked out of that movie, the ending was so emotional because, you know, they really sang while they were acting. And I think that some of it they had to overdub, but when they're sobbing and all that stuff, that just really affected me emotionally. So when I walked out of the theater, I'm like getting in my car all of a sudden, I just start welling up. Just because I love that musical, going all the way back to the late 80s, early 90s when I was first introduced to it. But nowadays, you know, it's mostly just Cats. But at least we've moved on to Skimbleshanks. So now there's 2 songs from Cats. And I've also got him into liking The Hard Knock Life from Annie. Now, I'm not going to let my son watch the Jamie Foxx Annie because, that, you know, that's not Annie. I'm kidding. The other thing is he riled everybody up about the Pope. Somebody made an AI image of him as the Pope, and they tweeted it out or put it out on social media last Friday. And then all the pundits were like, this is offensive to Catholics. And they asked him about it Monday, and he said, I don't think so. I just think it was the fake news. It was the fake news. You guys are the ones who were upset.
Yeah, I think he was like, the Catholics love it.
Yes.
Love it. But I don't know about that either.
I don't either.
But I think he does stuff like that to keep himself relevant in like the online trolling game. And
but we don't.
It works.
I know, but the president doesn't need to be trolling. Jeff, what were you going to say?
My pizza the Pope image went kind of viral on Reddit today.
Oh, it did? Where did you post it?
In Spaceballs.
Did you make it in AI? Or did you...
I think it's Adobe Firefly. Is that what it's called? Fire AI.
Yeah.
That was pretty good, Jeff.
Adobe Firefly. That's a lot better than Grok. Dustin, you have that? We can put it up?
Yeah.
That's a real good image. That guy's name really is Pizza Balls or something.
Yeah, I know.
Pizzaballa.
Pizza balls.
Pizzaballa. Yeah, Pizzaballa. Pizzaballa. He's 60, so that means if he gets in, we get him for 20 years.
They say he's too young.
Too young?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. You need a young pope. Didn't everybody watch that show with what was that actor in the young pope?
Jude Law.
Jude Law.
That was a good show. Went off the rails there in the second season, but it was a good show. Chain smoking young pope, very traditional and restrictive type of pope. But that's sort of what's going on in that world. It's just nonstop. I get tired of it. Every time I look at the news, I just say, "What the F is going on? I don't care anymore." I really don't. I mean, I do. I have to live in it. But you know what I mean? It's like you can't open any app without somebody complaining about something.
Yeah, well, that's what they're there for.
That is true. That is
Social
true.
media.
Reddit.
I've become numb to it. Like, it's not that I don't care. It's that I'm just like, what? Like, it's just overwhelming sometimes. It's just become numb to it. Stop caring about it.
Like sitting on your left hand and then, doing the stranger. Lizzie, I don't know. I don't want to offend you. Like I sent Lizzie a prank call that I had made because we were talking about something we're going to talk about in the news. And it was sort of offensive. And I'm like, should I send you these things?
I don't get offended. No.
Well, you were telling me that you've already trained your young son to do prank phone calls. And for that,
Yeah, I did. It's just a lost art. And I was like, get that. I would have so much fun with that as a kid. So like he's young. So we would call the local Johnnies and I'd be like, pick a character and commit. But it was simple stuff like, is your refrigerator running? Mm-hmm. And the kids at Johnny's, the teenagers at Johnny's, I guess they're not used to prank calls either because they would fall for it and be like, hold on, let me put you on hold and check. I'd be like, yes.
Yeah. Like that's information that you normally give out while you're working at a restaurant.
Right.
Like the bend over one. You call looking for bend over.
Yeah. Ben, hi, Victor Hugo.
Take your pants off.
I don't even know your name.
Bend over.
Ben, nice to meet you. Victor Hugo.
Nice to meet you.
I called a Dunkin' Donuts in New York State once. This is way over 10 years ago, so hopefully the statute of limitations have passed. And I said that I lost a watch in the bathroom and I needed somebody to go look for it. And then I just kept talking and talking. And finally I told him that it had fallen out of my ass. But there are specific places that are touchstones for me to call.
I was highly offended when you conferenced those two pudgies together and kept going, Pudgy Burger.
Oh, well, the different pizza restaurants, Lizzie, in two different cities, but it's the same franchise that's up north. We conferenced those guys, and while they were talking to each other, I just kept doing what Jeff said. I would go, Pudgy Burger. We could probably put those. I don't know. We better not do that. Well, it's not going over the broadcast air. I don't know. Kids on TikTok are pranking people all the time, and I'm sure they're not getting signed release forms. The news. I was going to talk about The Last of Us losing, 30% of its audience since episode 2. So apparently there were a lot of people who didn't play the game and didn't know, like me, what was going to happen, and they were very disappointed. And now they're doing the review bombing on Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes, because I think that people that love the show, and they're not going to go say, this is the worst thing ever. And I think that if you're just mad because Joel died, spoiler alert, and that it's, the three main characters are women, and you hate that, then you're going to take the time to go post about it. So I don't know. Is it trolling? What do you guys think?
I was disappointed in this last episode. I had gotten to that point in the video game already where she learns about the pregnancy and it was so different the way it was handled in the video game to what Ellie's character actually is in the show. Like, I don't know. It was just weird.
What did you guys think?
I like that. I never played any of the games though, so I don't have anything to compare it to.
Yeah. I mean, they're moving the story right along.
Yeah.
I mean, more faster than I thought they would, but it makes sense if they're trying to, they said they're going to change it. So, I mean, it's going to deviate from the game a lot more as it goes along. And
I like Jeffrey Wright.
Well, I think that's what a lot of maybe the review bombing is diehard people that are into the game that wanted it to be a reflection of the game. And then the other half is, the
usual suspect.
Homophobes. Yeah.
I was excited to see, what's her name? Alana Ubach. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Who's that?
She's an actress.
What's she been in? I don't know her.
Oh man, she's been in all kinds of, she's been in so much stuff.
She's the dead hooker from It's Always Sunny. The one that fell in love with Frank.
Hey, this jacket is awesome. Ooh, and it's tighter than dick skin, man.
Can you watch your language, please, Roxy? We're in a classy place.
There you go.
All right, I got it now. I don't buy that it's losing a whole ton of audience because they don't really have the Nielsen's yet, so they're just basing it on streaming, the streaming numbers, because you can tell who's watching what and when they're watching it, but they don't have the official ratings yet. But I think you're right, Dustin. It's probably a mixture of homophobes and people who just want to troll the troll because there's no male lead anymore.
Yeah, and then you maybe have a small contention of people who are just Pedro fanatics and they're pissed that Pedro's gone.
Well, dude, he's in everything, so you can get over it.
Just flip the channel and you can find him on something else.
Here's some stories that we've been following at the Radio Labyrinth news desk.
Has anybody got a dime? I don't know, James. Somebody's got to go back and get a shitload of dimes.
Why is that?
You didn't see that truck overturned with $800,000 worth of dimes?
Where did this happen? In Atlanta?
In Texas.
Oh, in Texas? Were people stealing them?
Yeah, people were picking them up along the side of the road.
Damn.
Were they just loose?
Loose dimes.
Is my question. Why weren't
where
they
are they
rolled?
going with $800,000 worth of loose dimes? Are they going to Elon's house or something?
No, that's a pretty intriguing story, though.
Yeah.
It happened in Atlanta, 3 or 4 years ago? Or maybe 5 years ago?
It was on 285, and people were getting out and taking the money.
Yeah.
And they were all on camera, and if your license plate was caught, you got contacted.
Yeah.
That was right up where I used to live near Dunwoody. Like, there was a lot of money, but dimes? So, why weren't they rolled?
I don't know.
It's Texas,
where are they
man.
going?
Yeah, we don't need to roll them in Texas.
Hell no. There's just a truck full of dimes. At least if they'd been in rolls, it probably would have been easier to pick up.
Yeah, they showed people on the side of the road just sitting there picking up dimes one after the other.
I wouldn't
14 hours of crews picking up dimes.
All right, maybe I would have picked up some dimes, but it would have been easier had they been rolled. You don't want to walk around with pockets full of dimes.
And it was right in front of a high school, too.
Oh, God. All right,
I immediately thought of that scene from Blazing Saddles, though.
Yeah.
Where they hit the toll booth. Somebody's got to go back and get a shitload of dimes.
All right, talking about the prank phone calls. Johnny Brennan, who was on our show in 2017. You can go back. I forget what. It's episode 97. So that's what? Our second year, maybe? Yeah, our second full year. So you can find that at least at Audio Boom. Just type in Johnny Brennan Johnny Brennan Radio Labyrinth, and you'll be able to find it if you've never heard it. It was a fun episode. And we play a lot of different prank calls, some of mine, some of his, some other people's. But the interview was a lot of fun. And I don't know, was that after he put out? No, he put out that Jerky Boys album during the pandemic, right?
Yeah, this was maybe they had announced that there was going to be new Jerky Boys material, and that's how we talked him into coming on.
Yeah,
but nothing had been released yet.
And he sort of, in this news article from the New York Post, he talks about how difficult it is now because nobody picks up their phone. And when they do, they're expecting to be trolled or... So anyway, yeah, there's going to be another movie. I don't know what the movie's going to be about. They don't really say. But is there also a documentary?
Yeah.
So two things come
I think that's the big thing. I thought it was a re-release of the movie.
Okay, maybe a re-release of the movie.
Yeah, and then a documentary, and that's their marketing thing.
I saw that movie by myself in the movie theater, and I did laugh because I love those guys, but it's not that good of a movie.
Hey there, tough guy. This is Frank Rizzo. Oh. Frank Rizzo, open your fucking ears, jackass.
Who the hell's Frank Rizzo? Frank Rizzo? Frank Rizzo? Am I supposed to know you, Mr. Rizzo?
Maybe it's better you don't there, beefy tits, because you'd be shitting your fucking pants if you did, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, now look, Sizzle Chest. I got a couple of guys.
No, I saw it by myself, too. I think there was like 4 people in the entire theater.
I mean, I went alone. There were like 15 people there.
Yeah.
I think he has an idea for a movie where he plays the dad of like kind of like a biopic where he plays his dad and they get some young actor to play him.
Isn't Frank Rizzo is his dad, that voice?
Yeah.
His mother was the Sal Rosenberg. Oh, God. Is he burning him up?
Shoes and glasses.
I have warts in my ass everywhere, and they're silly looking. Will he go in there with the shoe?
Speaking of that time frame of about 30 years ago, they are finally re-releasing the R-rated version of Dirty Work.
Yes, they are releasing the R-rated version of Dirty Work. Well, it is R-rated, but this is that's called Dirtier Work. Dirty Work was R-rated to begin with. I mean, how could
PG-13?
Yeah, and I think in the article it said it was PG-13.
Yeah, that was the big thing and the reason why this version exists is because they wanted it to be the guys, they wanted it to be R, and they had planned on, as they were making it the whole time, to be R. But when the bigwigs stepped in, they were like, "Oh, we can't market this as an R. We need to bring it down to a PG-13." And in doing so, they cut out jokes that were completely there, scenes that were there, and they said that it completely ruined the flow of the movie. And if you watch it, there are places where it's like, wow, that jumped from there to there, and that doesn't make any sense.
Now, the line, I've never seen so many dead hookers in one place. That is a funny line, but the line right after, it's the funny part of that. It goes, Lord knows I have.
Resistant CD player, standard.
Hey, the trunk looks kind of small there, Anton.
This is live. I'm on live TV. I'll show you right here.
Well, you got a dead hooker in the trunk.
What? No, it can't be.
Oh, my goodness.
What are you doing?
I've never seen so many dead hookers in all my life.
Lord knows I have.
I ordered it, so I'm going to watch. I can't wait to watch it.
Vinegar?
Yeah, and there, if you go to the Vinegar YouTube page, I put a link in here if you want to share it, Dustin, and they show you how they did it. Because they had to use, there's no existing print cut of that, so they had to use dailies and pull stuff off of the VHS releases or something. Oh no, there was a version of it on VHS with time codes and stuff. So they
had a camera set in. It was one of the pre-screenings they were doing before they released it, and they played the full R version, and they set a camcorder in the back corner so that the editor could then see where the hits were, and he could go in and adjust for the PG-13. So that one document is all they have to reference some of those pieces, and it was really cool the way they did it, because they had to go back in and create like the video they could work with, because they could find the original negative. MGM has all that, but they didn't have the sound, so they had to go back in and like loop other sections of the movie.
Wow!
And it was really, it'd be interesting to see how they pull it off.
And there's all sorts of documentary stuff and videos and stuff and commentary. So Vinegar, they're doing the Lord's work with some of these movies. Their website's cool.
Oh yeah, they're the only ones now. They're like the ones Gen that X version of Criterion.
They're the ones that put out the Yule Log.
Yeah,
Casper Kelly's Yule Log, the original one on DVD or Blu-ray.
Nice.
I feel like we've beaten Katy Perry like a dead horse, but yeah. It's just an article about her response to the TikTok trend that's going on, and it's like showing Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift, and it's got the audio from SNL's Dunice sketch on it. It's like,
and I'm Dunice,
I'm Janice, I'm Nora, I'm Dunice.
Is she the one with the little hands?
Yeah. Yeah, got little doll hands.
Yes, the little hands. But her response to it was like, you know what? I'm a human and I fail and I get back up. And I was like, darn, like you're right. Like my bad. Like I felt kind of bad for ragging on her after that.
Yeah. You're also, you should know that if you're putting on a show, not to suck.
You're right.
Put a little effort.
Yeah, put a little effort into it. You're not a
rehearse.
Yeah, and all that jazz. Also, get rid of all that crap. Pick up the guitar, write some songs, and bring back Katie Hudson. That's all I ask.
The Diddy case stuff.
Yeah, what is this? How many celebrities have been named?
Not too many, but it's just in the asking of the jurors, like if they know these people. So some is Kanye, Michael B. Jordan, who dated Cassie, which was his girlfriend. Kid Cudi, I think, who also dated Cassie, whose car blew up. And there's a few others like Cassie. And then there's Mike Myers.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And in the article, they're like, why Mike Myers?
Shrek?
And I know that Beyonce was in
Austin Powers 3.
Austin Powers 3. And then in that movie, Dr. Evil has a tattoo of Diddy's name on his
I think you were crazy. I know. But now I can see your nuts. I thank you.
It's basically just to show how far into pop culture has the stories of Diddy been, going on for so long. But immediately people were like, oh, Mike Myers was at those white parties. And it's like, no, it had nothing to do with things being done at the house. It was about Diddy's reputation.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised to see his name.
Yeah, well, you'll see Matt Parker and Trey Stone before it's over with. They're going to be mentioned. So,
vote or die.
But but most of the people sorry.
No, I'm just saying that's it's pop culture, has coasted on these stories of Diddy for so long that has become ingrained in a lot of the stuff that now we look at as like classic comedy stuff. It's not like the Epstein list being, read out or anything.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's like
that never happened, by the way.
It's just that they have some kind of involvement, and a lot of them it's with Cassie.
Yeah. Yeah, she got around.
Do I make you baby oily, baby?
Did you guys see the trailer for The Long Walk?
Yeah, I saw it. Mark Hamill looks good.
Mark Hamill.
Now, what is The Long Walk? What book is
Stephen King story? It's a short story from Skeleton Crew.
His Bachman days. Yeah, this was actually his first book he ever wrote. He was 19 years old when he wrote it.
And what's the story about? Because I don't think I've ever read it.
It's in a near future where every year you can sign up for this walk. And so you have to walk at 3 miles an hour, no less. If you walk slower or if you stop longer than 3 seconds, you get shot.
Ugh.
And so the idea is you just walk. There's no finish line. It's just whoever ends up last is the winner. And the winner riches. You'd never have to worry about you or your family for the rest of your life. It's kind of this giant, carrot on a stick that they put in front of these kids. And it's really cool because you of course you follow one guy as the main character, and you meet, just like with Stephen King's stories, you meet all these interesting characters of these other boys along the way, and the whole country is in on it, and they watch it on television like The Running Man, and it's something very popular, and it's very good.
And who's Mark Hamill in it?
He's the general. There's one
charge.
military guy, that rides, because they follow them in jeeps and tanks, like as they're going, to both protect them from people and to keep them herded. And he basically sets up on this, on this tank with a gun and a stopwatch, and he's kind of just like this ever-seeing evil eye over everybody the whole time.
Damn.
Oh, speaking of Walking Dead, Dead City. Anybody watching it but me?
I started it actually last night, season 2.
Lucille is back.
The Bat?
Yeah.
The bad guy again?
Yeah, he's with the Maggie and Negan are split up this season, and I guess he's with the bad guys and she's with the good guys. But they gave him a new Lucille, and apparently he's carrying it around everywhere on set with him.
Yeah, freaking out the crew.
Yeah.
Well,
it's electrified this time, isn't it? They charged it.
Yeah, there's some kind of weird thing going on with it.
Whatever happened to Rick?
They had that movie where he was still alive.
But he got on a helicopter. Where'd that come from?
Yeah.
I found that very annoying.
Wasn't the copters in the comics? But they never explained what they were. Yeah.
I didn't read the comics.
I hope it's all a dream. Anyway, you want to talk a little bit about your friends?
You mean Meghan Markle? So she went on a Women's Founders podcast.
Okay.
And she's just trying really hard to be relatable. And she's like a bad salesman. And I kind of hate it so much that I love it once again.
Yeah.
She's an actress. Couldn't she pull it? I mean, couldn't she act and pull it off?
I mean, she is. She absolutely is acting. She's like, I set up these emails for my kids, and I'm going to give them to them when they're 18. And, you know, I just put in loving things and photos and stuff. And what when I give it to them, what I want them to say is like how deeply loving I am, and how profound and how profoundly beautiful Her Royal Highness is. You know,
darling, you don't have that. You don't have that title anymore. We don't have titles. You know, I tried to call my dad the king, and you know, to get well, you know, money. But you know, he's sick. And I would love to spend, you know, time with him and also see the future king, my brother. But I sort of feel shunned, and I don't know why that would have happened, and or who could possibly be to blame for that. You, maybe? I don't know.
Well, I think it's they don't like our black children.
No, that's not true.
So they cut us off.
Yes.
And I actually have to stay in California to work, not only because it fills my cup, but now somebody's got to get the bills paid, right?
Well, you don't. Your jam is awful. Nobody's buying your jam. Your jam tastes like earwax. I would really love to reconnect with my father before he passes away and before my brother becomes king, because if something were to happen to my brother, I would be able to be king. That would be great. And of course, I would go Anne Boleyn on you. I mean, yes. Why don't you go back into acting? I'll go back to England, and you can run for Senate or something. Think how wonderful that would be.
Yeah, the new Suits needs a guest star appearance.
You go. Jeff's onto something there. Go back to Suits.
But we're so in love. Like, you are a fox, and your heart is way more beautiful than your face, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right, H?
You have a lot of moles. No, you have more moles than holes. I mean, souls. And scene.
And scene.
Radio Labyrinth is brought to you by two wonderful sponsors. The first one, Atlanta Pizza in Euro, proudly serving the East Metro Atlanta area for over 40 years. Atlanta Pizza in Euro is the place to be this spring and summer. The restaurant and the food truck are in full swing for the season. Their featured beer of the month is Uno Mas Mexican-style lager from Firemaker Brewing, and they have all sorts of other good beers you can try. Plus, the food is amazing. They have great pizza. They have great Italian food. They have great Greek fare. And the staff is really nice. They closed all the things that we used to talk about, so you don't have to worry about that. They have amazing artwork on the wall, including drawings from a lot of our listeners and yours truly. And they got the best gyros, pizzas, hot subs, and Greek and Italian specialties around. Stop by Monday through Friday, 11 to 9 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 9 p.m. and closed on Sundays. Tuesday nights, they have team trivia from 7 to 8:30. Bring your smartest friends and test your trivia knowledge against the best Conyers has to offer. Also brought to you by LDI Repro Printing of Athens, Georgia. If you have a commercial or residential construction printing need, contact them right away. LDI Repro Printing has been in Athens since 2005, and that's 20 years. That's amazing. With fast turnaround and affordable prices. Call Brett and tell him we said that you did to call them. Call Brett and tell him you heard it on Radio Labyrinth. Call 706-316-9366 or email them at athens@ldiline.com.
Guys, are you reading the online comments?
Gotta read some of these comments.
I'm loving your guys' comments.
You're reading your own comments?
Yeah, they're really good. I worked hard on them.
The secret is don't read the comment card.
Okay, now we're going to read your YouTube and Radio Shack comments. Let's start with polls this week. We had 2 polls this week. The first poll, who deserves a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame spot next? Let's see. There were 4 options. A tie for third place at 10% Smashing Pumpkins and A Tribe Called Quest. In third place, or second place, I'm sorry, Soundgarden, 30%. And number 1 was Iron Maiden, Run to the Hills, Somewhere in Time. Iron Maiden deserves to be in there at 50%. But they don't want to be in it, so good on them.
Yeah, so give it to Soundgarden.
Yeah. Soundgarden deserves to be in there, too. The next one was, should Match Game be revived in 2025? I believe it is being revived, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And it's coming this summer, earlier than I thought it would.
Sweet. Well, we had, again, a tie for third out of 4 responses with Only If It's Wild. I imagine it will be. What's Match Game? A lot of younger millennials. 33%, nah, leave it in the 70s. And I'm kind of sort of on that side, but I also think it could be fun if they let him get drunk. And then coming in first place, yes, game shows rule. They do. And we had a comment at the bottom of that from poster Yesterday Dream, who said they should make Snatch Game its own series. Don't know who would watch that.
I do, and he's sitting right over there.
Oh, yeah. He would be able to identify all of them. No? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I put money on it.
On Match Game, Gene Rayburn would always be trying to make out with Elaine Joyce, says Fuchsie.
Just everybody was drunk on that show. They did try drinking on the Alec Baldwin one for at least a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got so sloshed they had to cut him off.
Yeah. They should do it live, put it on TV. Fuchsie has a couple more comments. He said, Match Game was a terrific moment in my childhood. The Mount Rushmore of guests was Brett Summers, Charles Nelson Riley, and, of course, Richard Dawson. And, yes, you are absolutely correct about that. And then Richard went on to do Family Feud. I don't get this one. Young Tim would spread his arms and start to spin, shouting, "Oh, zephyr winds which blow on high, lift me now so I can fly." Then his mom would bring him into the house because the neighbors would be calling her complaining. David Goodman says, I tried to steal all the world's butterflies once. I gave up at 3. It's 5-3. May the turd be with you. So he left the day before. All right, it's time to text impressions to Tim. And what voice do we have this week that I can't do?
This week on Text Impressions by Tim, we did mention him in the news section. We're going to go with Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan.
All right, here we go. Anybody moves, anybody says anything, cut the boy's other eye out and feed it to his father, and then we'll start. You can breathe, you can blink, you can cry. Hell, you're all going to be doing that. Ho, ho, look at that. Taking it like a champ. Damn. Is that right before he killed, what's his face?
Yeah, when he killed Glenn.
It's gonna be pee-pee pant city here real soon. You got some beach ball sized lady nuts on you. I hope you got your shitting pants on.
That's good. Yeah.
I walked in on my neighbor butt naked, covered in peanut butter, whispering sweet nothings to a rotisserie chicken. I didn't judge. I just asked if he had room for one more and handed him a side of slaw. That was fun. Yeah, we did. We all watched the finale of The Righteous Gemstones, and I think they did a good job wrapping it up. I think this season really wasn't necessary overall, but I enjoyed it, so I'm not going to complain. And we're not going to get any more for a while, unless this news story is true where they might do a live on-stage performance.
That's what Danny said. He would rather do that than do a movie.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they talked
like
about filling a mega church.
Yeah, just do the whole stage thing,
Mhm.
as a live event. And Jeff was right. You were right as far as the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Yeah, death was the last one.
Yep. But nobody died.
They made it seem like all of them were
Corn
going
Dog
to die.
died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I thought they were all going to die, and that would be the end of it.
Yeah,
I did too. I was so stressed out.
And when he went out for the second gun,
when they just showed Judy's body laying there. Before they all started crawling around, leaking all over the place.
That was the funniest part, is when they're all like slithering like snakes on the ground. That was that killed me. That was funny. And then it led to something like really beautiful, so like I laughed and I cried.
And Dr. Watson ended up being the hero.
Yeah.
But the whole
I cried when Judy talked to Dr. Watson.
Yeah.
I teared up. It was beautiful.
But when they're like trying to get him to talk about the type of bag it is.
Yeah, go get it. Go get his purse.
It's not a purse.
Not a purse.
You're going to have to find someone else to wipe your ass. This monkey is coming with us.
Yeah.
I guess with her ex-husband trying to rape and kill us, and your kids killing her kids, I guess it was a bridge too far.
That's really good. Is that what's her face?
No, that was Baby Billy.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it sounded like the lady from Will and Grace. So good job.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, my Dr. Phil sounds like Nancy Grace, so because I'm a woman.
When Goggins is like, "I'm not Jesus," he just wanted to get back with his family.
Yeah.
Oh, that was beautiful too.
I know it's going to cost my family millions of dollars.
My nieces and nephews,
but I ain't going to
lose millions of dollars.
I don't give a shit. All right, so congratulations. I hope they come back with more awesome shows and keep that ensemble, because those are some very funny people.
Goggins is hosting Saturday Night Live this week too.
No,
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that one.
Views.
Or.
Snooze.
Last week was the Four Seasons, which is my staff pick for this week. So good. I'll talk about it more during the staff picks, but I enjoyed it a lot. And Dead City, which we talked about a little. Negan, Lucille's back. And David Spade stand-up special, very funny.
That came out already?
Yeah, it came out yesterday.
All right, I got to watch it, because I watched him with Theo. Did you guys watch that?
Oh, it's clips, yeah.
Did you see
I haven't seen it.
Well, he does the whole episode of this past weekend. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah. Did they talk about the movie?
They talk about the movie. They talk about his special, but at the beginning they're talking about social activists or something, and they're talking about the original dwarves for the Seven Dwarves movie, which were just all these weird polyglot people. And one of them looked like Colin Kaepernick, and I'd never heard this before, but apparently Theo's used the line. He calls him Throza Parks.
Yeah, I've heard you said that before. Yeah.
That's the first time I heard it, but that was funny. Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
All right, this week, Conan O'Brien Must Go comes back, season 2 on HBO Max. Great show.
Yeah.
Only 3 episodes this season. I guess HBO doesn't have any money left. But they'll be good, I'm sure. And Poker Face comes back on the 8th.
Oh, good. I love
12 episodes.
Good.
Nice.
Looks like lots and lots of guest stars.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they doubled up on them after the first season did so well.
And Bad Thoughts. This is the Tom Segura show we talked about. This comes out on the 13th on Netflix.
Yeah.
Kind of like his Black Mirror sketch comedy show.
Yeah, definitely watching that.
I'm looking forward to this one.
I'm views on that. So there's 2 views for me. I'm going to have to do those by next week.
Is he covering Garth Brooks in that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one. Yeah. There's one that showed the preview where he not only is he doing the Garth Brooks story, but he plays all the characters. So he does like 6 or 7 different characters in these stories.
I hope it's good.
Being one of them, or Garth Brooks equivalent being one of them.
Sweet. All right, let's do our staff picks for this week's episode. My staff pick is coming soon. It hasn't been posted yet. In fact, he just texted me a rough cut that he wants me to look at, so I'm going to do that. But it's Matt Maliero's Meat Kingdom, episode number 10, and you can find that on YouTube. Just go type it in. We'll also have a link here.
Looked like you guys are having fun.
Oh, yeah. Went out to Red Top Mountain. I believe that's Lake Allatoona, right? And went up in let's see, we had, it was Matt, and they had a campsite, and it was me, and it was Todd Redner who did all the artwork for Aqua Teen. So he actually drew the characters that I did on that final season, episode 3. the teaser twos. He drew all those characters, and he might hook me up with some of those, which would be really awesome. But nice guy, and also, but he's done a lot of things. So he was telling me about drawing people, and we talked a lot about George.
He's been working for Adult Swim since way back, like 12-ounce mounts days and stuff.
Yep. Oh, we talk about that show too, and also there was John Breston, who's an editor, and did a lot of work with the shows. He made really good macaroni and cheese. I watched him make the roux. We also had beef ribs, which are good, and we called Dave Willis to wish him a happy birthday 2 days before his birthday, but that'll be on there. So check that out if you have time. It's a fun show, and I really dug hanging out with him. That's my stat pick.
Like I said, mine's The Four Seasons on Netflix. This is the Tina Fey, Will Forte, Steve Carell show, based on that 1981 Alan Alda movie, which is also now streaming on Netflix.
I'll have to watch that.
It was really good and really funny. And even in the sad parts, they find ways to be funny. I enjoyed it. I watched the entire thing in like 2 days.
I'm glad you liked it. I'm going to watch it.
It was really good. I remember liking the Alan Alda movie back when they would show it on HBO all the time.
I know it was on all.
But I haven't seen it in like 30 years. So and Alan Alda does show up in there.
Oh yeah,
he plays. He's playing maybe Will Forte's father.
Cool.
Or Tina Fey's father, one of their fathers.
It's a nice pull.
Yeah.
Mine is not a new movie, but it's new to Netflix. Netflix put on the Sugarland Express.
Oh, nice.
From 1974. This was Spielberg's entry to Hollywood, pretty much. He, with the success of this, he went on to make Jaws the next year. I thought it was neat. It's one of those few movies when people say Spielberg, they don't immediately jump to the Sugarland Express. It's usually everything after it.
I think Tarantino loves it.
Yeah, I would believe it because it looks like, what was the one? Dirty Harry? No.
Crazy Mary, Dirty Larry.
Crazy Mary, Dirty Larry. Yeah. It is very similar to that, kind of Bonnie and Clyde-ish. But yeah, great movie. If you haven't seen it, it's one of those things that, I saw it years ago and hadn't seen it probably since I was, my teens, but still holds up. It's really good. Goldie Hawn is always good and everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to check it out. So mine is the Conan O'Brien Mark Twain Prize, which was really good. And you get to see all the old bits. And my favorite is like the Walker, Texas Ranger lever, and you get to see all the old characters, and all the comedians do a really good job. And it was actually Jeff's suggestion, and I loved it so much that I stole it right out from under it without realizing it.
Well, thank you guys. Let's do some plugs and promotions and stuff like that. You can catch Trambles every Tuesday or Wednesday on the Radio Labyrinth audio feed, wherever you find your podcasts or get your podcasts. That's just me talking about stuff. The most recent episode of the Popcast, which is my WSB radio show, features singer-songwriter Brooke Livingston, who lives right here in Atlanta, and she performs her recent song on there. And she was really sweet and nice to meet, and I wish her nothing but success. Sweet voice, and I enjoyed it. You can also catch the episode I did with Jeff Garland on there as well. If you're looking for a cameo, if you get this on Saturday and you decide, hey, I need to get one by Mother's Day, well, just go to cameo.com and look for T. Andrews ATL. Let's talk about Patreon. You can become a Radio Labyrinth Patreon member by going to patreon.com/Tim Andrews and sign up at any of our multiple different tiers. And you're going to want to sign up for Radios in the Dark Live, because we're starting that tonight, and we're going to be talking about some of our most awkward encounters with celebrities over the years. And I've had several, and I see that Dustin has some as well. I'm sure Jeff and Lizzie has those too, but you can get that and watch us do it live every Wednesday night after the show, and also get it on Saturday on the Patreon page. So use the app if you want, but please sign up using a web browser. That way they don't take your money and our money away, the money that you're giving us to become our money. And again, that's patreon.com/Tim Andrews. There's other rewards up there, so please check them out. You can contribute to text impressions by Tim, and even write one for me to do in the voice that you have agreed upon with the other guys and gal. So That's awesome. You can also become a Radio Labyrinth executive producer, which means you're actually producing the show at the $25 level. And I want to thank those people right now. John Allen, Matt Carter, Chris Chandler, Mike D, Jim Fortner, Terry Fuller, Roby Neely, Jeff Peterson, Tim Slayton, and Brian and Chelsea Smith. And I want to thank Kevin Jackson for bumping his membership up to a higher tier. So thank you, Kevin, for doing that. Always remember to like the YouTube video, comment on the YouTube video so we can read your fun comments. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you're just into the whole audio thing, then make sure that you're sharing and liking and doing all the things everybody tells you to do. And other than that, I got nothing. So please remember to
keep it
canon.
What do you say? All good things come to an end.
What's that got to do with this show?
Lost in the rain.